crime rate in Hackney is worse than anywhere else in London, but so far young people in the borough have been relatively unaffected. Juvenile crime there is no higher than the national average, and the police are determined to keep it that way. But now they've come up against a surprising obstacle. They're not allowed to enter 1/3 of Hackney's schools to talk to the children. The ban has been imposed by the Hackney Teachers Association, which doesn't like the way they say the police operate in an area where anti-police feeling is high. Dina Gold reports on how the police have responded with a good neighbour offensive.
His name's Andy Beckford, and he's going to dance to Shaka Khan, I Feel For You.
This disco isn't laid on for PC Andy Beckford to enjoy himself. His dancing skills are on display as a public relations exercise to show the human face of the police in Hackney. It's part of a desperate battle. At stake, the hearts and minds of the children of the borough. At a different pace, PC Eddie Thomas patrols the streets on foot. Each week he visits Burbage Junior School, sure of a warm welcome. But in the infant school, part of the same building, he's banned. It's one of 18 schools in Hackney that don't want the police in the classroom.
The police would come in and say, well, no, these things don't happen, or we're not all bad. The reaction of the children was, well, you know, all right, you may have been specially trained to come and soft soap us. You're not the ones that are kicking the life out of us down the station.
How can we break down these arguments and restore confidence unless we meet the children? It is all very well for them to say that they have these worries, but they're not going to go away and we're not going to resolve it if we can't meet the children.
It's tough growing up in Hackney, the most socially deprived inner-city borough in the country, and one of the most racially diverse. With 1 person in 5 unemployed, children know full well that their own job prospects are bleak. Here, what kids feel about the police when they're young will probably last for life.
They've gotten to such a state now that people at this school, they've got a stereotyping about police that they're always going to be bad and they're always going to be out to get you. That if any police person comes in, then no one will be really prepared to listen.
If they were to come to school, it would be all pretense. It would be false, because I mean they can come in and they could all act benign and friendly and say, well, we're your local cop on the beat, give you a pat on the head and that's it. But I mean, next time they see you on the street, they can catch you. They'll still be the same hostile sort of reaction to you.
The people living here say they have every reason to distrust the police. It was here at Stoke Newington police station that a black youth called Colin Roach was found shot dead 2 years ago. Today, many people still believe he was killed by the police, even though an inquest jury returned a verdict of suicide. But it was when that jury went on to criticise the way the police had handled the case, and more particularly the way they treated Colin Roach's parents, that only served to increase the mistrust. Bad memories go back a long way. 6 years ago, thousands of people thronged the streets for the funeral of a teacher from Hackney called Blair Peach, who was killed at a demonstration in Southall. Eyewitnesses said he was attacked by the police special patrol group, but no one's ever been charged. It's the Hackney Teachers Association which has banned the police.
This has been introduced by a small minority of the teachers in Hackney for their own personal beliefs. It has got nothing to do with the benefits of the society, of the children. They're doing it for their own ends.
You mean it's politically motivated?
One must assume that that plays a part in it, yes. But what I would like to emphasise is that a very small minority of teachers are involved in this. And what is more, despite 3 years of campaigning, the problem is confined to Hackney and Stoke Newington. It has not spread throughout either London or the country.
But it's all too easy to dismiss what's happening in Hackney as the work of politically motivated extremists. This school says it's not anti-police, but wants a force that's more publicly accountable. They decided to ban the police after an exercise which involved consulting pupils, parents, teachers and school governors.
I had thought when I started that exercise that that the police ought to go on coming in, no matter what had happened in the community, because otherwise, if you're not talking, how do you move forward? But by the end of the exercise, I had been swayed by the enormous amount of fear and suspicion and hostility that there was right through the community, black and white.
Don't you feel, though, that your decision to exclude the police from the school only polarises positions?
No, I don't think so. When the police were coming in, they were being faced with such outright hostility that we felt it was a negative experience. What has happened since the policy was that the police have doubled and trebled their efforts to have that policy changed and to discuss with us ways in which we could change it.
And in a junior school in Hackney, the local police join the kids on their own stamping ground. This disco is part of a series of events aimed at changing children's long-term attitudes. As the police go on the offensive, they hope they haven't got their timing wrong.
It is never too late for relations to get better. What has happened in the past is behind us. We must look to the future. We can create good relations with them, and it is in our interest and their interests. They are the young people, the future of Hackney, and it is essential that we work together for the betterment of everybody.
Right over the edge. Yeah? Right, fold that under.
The police know that if they're going to be the eventual winners in the battle for the hearts of Hackney's school children, then they'll have to start with the young. And the best way is with the open encouragement of the teachers. They want to begin that battle in the classroom, but with that ground being denied them, they face the tougher job of fighting it on the streets.
Dina Gold reporting.